Hey, what's up, guys? Lance, the obscure movie guy, coming to you. And usually I don't do back-to-back episodes, back-to-back days, but a lot of us woke up this morning and got my Star Wars sweatshirt on. A lot of us woke up this morning and found out that Gina Carano had been fired from the Mandalorion, where she has spent 7 episodes, I think, to date on the show for some stuff that she tweeted out. Whether you agree with what she said or didn't, probably a little bit of a lapse in judgment on her part. Probably wasn't the most intelligent stuff to say. Some people deemed it, anti-Semitic or transphobic, whatever the case may be. It's not her first time that she's gotten a little bit of backlash for something that she's tweeted, but nonetheless, in this day and age with cancel culture, pretty much if you say anything stupid one time, they pretty much try to run you through the mud and ruin your career. So whether you agree with what she said or not, I don't really think it was, like I said, I think it was a lapse in judgment. I think people take things to the extremes, but I'll leave my political views out of it. That's not really what this video is about. I do want to try and, do Gina a little bit of justice, because there are some obscure movie titles that she has been in, and actually 3 really good ones that kind of flew under the radar. But to give her props a little bit, she is an established MMA fighter. She was on the reincarnation of American Gladiators when it came back with Hulk Hogan and Muhammad Ali's daughter, whatever her name is, something Ali, as the host. It wasn't real good rendition of American Gladiators. It definitely did not capture the 90s glory. And obviously, Gina has been in Deadpool, and she was in one of the Fast and Furious movies. So she's a fairly established actress, fairly established MMA fighter. And that being said, she was actually in 3 fairly obscure movies that kind of flew under the radar, which kind of surprised me. 2 of them I've seen. The one I'm going to watch because it sounds awesome, and she doesn't necessarily have huge parts in all these movies, but here's 3 obscure titles with Gina Carano that, regardless of how you feel about her, you should probably check out. They're really kind of worth the watch. The first one we're going to talk about is 2011's Haywire, where she plays a special ops agent who gets double-crossed. It's pretty much a tale as old as time. Hollywood has run out of ideas. The storyline was a little convoluted, not that great. The writing could have used a lot of help. But the thing that I want to focus on with this movie is the cast and the action sequences. So this movie had an amazing number of actors in it. Ewan McGregor, Michael Fassbender, Channing Tatum, Banderas, Michael Douglas, Bill Paxton, and the action sequences. Gina really gets to show off her MMA abilities in this movie. She did most of her own stunts, and the fight sequences they were filmed really well. It was really kind of an old adage. It was a lot of it was 1 or 2 shot sequences, not a lot of quick cuts to make it look like there's a lot happening. There actually was a lot happening. At one point in the movie, Michael Fassbender, slams her head against the wall and she smashes him with a vase, and that was like a reaction to what he did, and he was reacting to what she did. It was a really hardcore improv. The director wanted more and more, and eventually Fassbender slams her head, and her initial reaction was just pick up a vase and smack him with it, and it was pretty cool. She went through a rigorous 6-week special ops training with a former Israeli special ops agent, counterintelligence training. She put a lot of effort into the movie, and the action sequences did a lot of justice for the movie. The story was a little convoluted, but you had a great cast. She had a great part in it. Ironically, though, and a lot of people will like this because a lot of people don't like what she has to say, so her voice was actually dubbed over in that movie by can't even remember the chick's name. She played Maya Gallo on Just Shoot Me. It was Laura San Giacomo is her name. She was on Just Shoot Me, but she did the voiceover work for Gina Carano in the movie. I don't know what the theory was behind that. Maybe it was a old Arnold Schwarzenegger type thing, Hercules in New York, where maybe his acting ability wasn't quite there, so they dubbed over to make it seem a little bit better. But nonetheless, Gina did a badass job fighting in that movie. The next one I want to talk about is In the Blood. This was actually another pretty good movie. I sat down and watched. Again, a great cast. Cam Gigendat, I'm not sure I'm saying his name right, but he's from Burlesque, Never Back Down. Again, he's an established martial artist, good dancer. Danny Trejo was in the movie. Luiz Guzman, Treat Williams, Stephen Lang. A lot of you guys would recognize Stephen Lang from Into the Badlands. But she plays, she marries Cam. They go to the Caribbean for their honeymoon. They meet up with this guy, Manny, who takes them to a bar where they end up getting into a fight. Get the crap beat out of him. And then the next day, Manny takes them to like zip lining or something like that. Cam gets hurt, goes on the ambulance ride. Gina tries to follow along and loses the ambulance. And there's this big conspiracy about, kidnapping him for his money. He was actually a rich guy, so they wanted to hold him for ransom. And she's the only one trying to figure it out. Luis Guzman plays the police chief, and he's in on it. So, again, the storyline could have used a little bit of help, but the action sequences were still pretty good. Gina put a lot of effort into that one as well. And then the last one I want to talk about, I actually, this one I hadn't heard of. And again, these movies flew under the radar considering the casts of people that were in them. But this one was Heist. This came out in 2015. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Robert De Niro, Dave Bautista, Christ, who else was in it? Kate Bosworth, Mark Paul Gossler, Zach Morris, he was in it, and then obviously Gina Carano. But this movie was actually kind of cool. Jeffrey Dean Morgan plays a father who works at one of those river casinos. Robert De Niro's the pit boss. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, his daughter is sick. He's got like $300,000 worth of medical bills that, he doesn't have insurance. Asked Robert De Niro for a loan. De Niro, being the asshole that he is, kicks him out. And so Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Dave Bautista have this grand idea to try and steal the casino or do a heist and try and walk away with $3 million. And it's like part Ocean's 11, part like Speed, because they rob the casino and they do this heist and then it goes awry. Christ, I think Morris Chestnut was even in that movie. And they end up hijacking a bus, trying to get away, and it sounds ridiculous, but I mean it sounds awesome at the same time. It sounds like a typical action movie that I would watch. So, like her or hate her, those are 3 movies worth watching, regardless of how you feel about her. The beauty of actors is when they're on screen, they are not who they are. So whether you do hate her or like her, you can still watch the shows, you can still watch the movies. And, let's be fair. Cancel culture, it's running rampant. It happens to the best of us. Kyle Larson, Jesse Smollett's, Gina Carano. The list goes on of people that have said and done stupid things and have had their careers ruined. Whether you agree with what they said or what they did or you didn't, it doesn't justify ruining somebody's career or life over. We all say stupid shit. And a lot of it gets taken out of context. I don't like tequila. That doesn't mean I hate Mexicans. It means I don't want to wake up naked in a bathtub, okay? People say and do dumb shit all the time. Guys, we need to stop pining and buying into all this bull crap. Just watch a TV show, watch a movie, talk about something other than politics or religion. Don't start an argument with your peers for no reason. Let the shit ride, man. So, like, subscribe, and comment to the YouTube channel. Let me know what you think about these 3 titles I just mentioned. Let me know what you think about Gina Carano. I think she's a pretty badass martial artist. I think she's pretty good looking. She's pretty badass. Why not? I'd like to see her in something else. She's done a lot of straight-to-DVD stuff. She's on that, Dolph Lundgren, Jean-Claude Van Damme, straight-to-DVD action type level. Why not? So, maybe they'll bring her back. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll put her in something different. Maybe she'll end up doing something better altogether. Who knows? But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.